Welcome to my hobby weekend. With all the hustle and bustle of preparing for Christmas and spending the holidays with your friends and family, which is so much fun, but it can become a lot. So this is the first weekend I don't have to do anything. Now I can just be at home and read and crochet and do my reading journal and do all my hobbies. I started a sourdough starter 2 weeks ago today, and it had been doubling the last week every single day. So I was like, yeah, Saturday is the day I'm making the dough and I'm baking the bread tomorrow. She didn't rise. She didn't double today. So I won't be doing that. Sourdough has been so confusing because no one has the same opinion on how to do it. But everyone seems judgmental about everyone else's ways. So it's like, what do I do? I don't know. But my starter, other than today, has been doing everything I think it should be doing from what I've been watching and seeing and reading. But I guess today's not the day to make dough, unfortunately. I do have some discard, and I'm gonna try to make some discard Cheez-Its. I now have a question of, is my starter even active? Which I think it is. And I guess we're gonna find out today or tomorrow. I don't know when I'm gonna make them, or if I even have the ingredients to make them, because I was not prepared to make those this weekend. But I'm gonna be showing you guys my reading journal, which she's not the most aesthetic, but I love her. I think she's really cute and I'm excited to use her. I'm gonna be reading so much. I think I'm gonna start 75 booked today, and then I'm gonna crochet, and I'm very excited for that. She's not the most aesthetic, so please be kind. I did not do my best, but I did what I wanted because it was taking too much time. So here's the cover page. It's just a hodgepodge of stickers that could have been much better done, but you know. So here is my bookshelf that I'm going to be putting my reading goals on. I am shooting for 60 books this year. I did read 57 last year, so I think it is easily obtainable for me. I've already read 5 books. Most of them I started last year. And then I also listen to audiobooks at work, which helps me kind of get through books faster. And I don't know why people who do audiobooks talk so slow. So like, I definitely am typically at 2 times speed, because why are you talking so slow? But whatever. So here is my reading bingo for the year. Again, she's kind of, what's the word? She's kind of dingy, but that's okay. Read 5 new classics. Read The Count of Monte Cristo. That has been sitting in my TBR cart for, no joke, 2 years. I watched the movie and I loved it. And I know I'll really like the story, but why is it so thick? Like, it's so intimidating and so scary. Okay, again, just read 60 books in 2026. I do want to try to read some more nonfiction. I did a couple last year, so I want to hit 5 of those this year. I have a free space because I barely knew what to put for these last 2. I did really bad with that, but I have Read or Donate Your Physical TBR. I don't have a lot of physical TBR books, but I either want to get through them or I want to get rid of them. Like, I don't have the space to just be collecting books. I'm only going to put books on my bookshelf if I really, really enjoy them. Complete 75 booked is something I really want to do. The reading aspect, I don't think it's going to be difficult for me. It's more so the water and the logging what I read, which I think will be a challenge. So we'll see if I can do that. I want to try 5 new authors. I think I'm starting to get a better understanding of what books I like, so I want to branch out more and try to really solidify that and find more authors that I feel strongly that I really like. And then this one, I kind of already do it, but using the library more than buying books, which I feel like is pretty simple and pretty easy. Okay, here's my book bracket. It's going to look a lot better when it's actually, in progress. So my favorite book from each month is going to kind of get into the bracket. And then I'll kind of just do the bracket, and this book right here, whatever it may be, gets a buy because I said so. Okay, now I have my series tracker, so this is all the series that I'm in the middle of. I feel pretty good about majority of them. Throne of Glass, I don't know if I'll get through that. We'll see. Dream Harbor, I don't love those books, but I do own 2 more of them that I haven't read, so I feel like I should just go ahead and read those and then read the last one just to finish it. Hunger Games, I read the first 3 in middle school, but I'm not really counting that because I don't really remember book-specific things. But I did read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes as well as Sunrise on the Reaping. That's why those are over there. And then Divergent. Again, I hope I get to it. I really don't know if I will, because I feel like after the first book, at least in the movies, like I just wasn't as interested. But that's alright, we'll see what I can do. And this page is my TBR jar, but it isn't a jar, it's paper. I don't know if I'll use this, but if I do, I'll just roll a dice and then kind of whatever prompt I get, I'll pick a book based off that if I can't figure out what I want to read. Okay, this page I kept super simple and not decorated, but it's 75 booked, and it's just the rules of the challenge. So it's 2 45-minute reading sessions. 1 must be out of bed. You have to drink a bottle of water each session, and you must log what you read every day. So I just kind of left this blank, because if I set too much structure when it comes to logging something that I read, I probably won't do it. But I have a couple pages just dedicated to that, so I'll see how many pages I use for that. And over here I'm going to have my January spread of all the books I read in January, and then kind of give them a star rating. And then I want to dedicate like an entire page to like my favorite book of the month, basically. And that's when all this like fun stuff and stickers and stamps and markers are going to come into play. I know all this is a little bit boring, but I didn't want to overdo it, and I also didn't spend too much time thinking about the design of it because I don't have that much time, unfortunately. And yeah, that is my reading journal. Okay, it has been so long since I have crocheted. I started this project in the spring of 2025. It's supposed to be the spiral sweater. Very cute, very cute. And as you can see, I haven't made much progress. This is still only the front panel. So I need to get busy on that because I am obsessed with these colors. These were my portfolio colors for my portfolio show when I graduated college. So I was like, I'm gonna make a sweater with these colors. And the amount of color changes are killing me, and just thinking about all the ends I'm gonna have to weave in since I'm deciding to do so many different color changes is deterring me from finishing this project. But I know once it's done, it's gonna be my favorite one I've ever completed. So I really need to do that. I want to finish this front panel. Honestly, I don't want it to be super long or wide. I'd say maybe 3 more rows and I would be good for this front panel. So that's what I'm going to shoot for. And then I'm also going to listen to an audiobook and start 75 booked. I have my water. But yeah, I'm kind of just going to sit and make myself finish this. And I'll keep you guys updated. Hopefully it goes well. Okay, I'm 30 minutes into my 45-minute reading session, and I'm not really good at like drinking anything fast ever. So when I said like I think water will be the hardest part of the challenge for me, I mean that because my stomach hurts. And I still have a lot of water left, but it's fine. Anyways, I am listening to Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, and there hasn't been a Sally Rooney book I haven't liked. As of right now, I think this will be a 5-star read. I'm on chapter 21, and I've had nothing but a good time so far, and unless these next 9 chapters suck, I really think this will be a 5-star read. This makes me want to consume more Sally Rooney books because I've liked all 3 that I've consumed, so why not just try out the others? Okay, I just finished my 45 minutes of my audiobook. I did finish my water, which I didn't think I was going to be able to do. And then the time was perfect because I finished an entire row in exactly that 45 minutes, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I still think I could do 2 more rows and be good for the front panel because I still have to block it. And this is my first time crocheting with cotton yarn instead of acrylic. So I believe I can't steam it. I have to actually like block it, which that's a bridge I'll cross when I'm ready to do that. But I wonder if that's gonna make it much bigger, and if it does, like that's okay. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep crocheting. I'll probably turn my audiobook back on. I did some reading this morning, but I wasn't drinking water and I didn't like do it for 45 minutes. So I'll have to figure out where I'm gonna do my second reading session for the day because it cannot be in my bed. I was gonna go on a walk today, but it's rainy, so I won't be doing that. Hello. It is 7:40 and I am just absolutely exhausted, and I don't know why. I really have not done anything crazy today to be this tired. But I did make my discard Cheez-Its and they were fine. I followed the recipe and they look like the recipe. I don't think I did anything. Maybe I was just trying to compare them to a Cheez-It too much when I'm using a lot less ingredients, or a lot more like healthier ingredients. But for my second reading session, I listened to an audiobook again while I prepared the dough. It was like just kind of downstairs, hanging out, walking around while listening to that, and I did finish my water. I do need to still log that in my journal. I want to read some more. Like, I'm reading The Long Game right now on my Nook, so I'll probably do that. I don't want to fall asleep before 10 o'clock, but at this rate, I don't think I'll be making it to 9. So I really need to get up and do something, but I will not be doing that if I'm being honest. So I'll probably talk to you guys tomorrow, and hopefully I am a little bit more productive. Hi. Okay. As you can see, it's really, probably you can't see, but it's really snowy and cold and chilly and yuck out. But I just wanted to update. I did finish listening to Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, and I did indeed give it 5 stars. I don't really know how to explain it, but Sally Rooney is so good at writing her characters. They are messy, they make mistakes, they say bad things, they think bad things, they do bad things, but don't we all? Not always to the extreme as some of the characters, but we all do questionable things, we all say questionable things. We've all been mean to someone, we've all been rude, we're not perfect. And I love that her characters are written like that, and it's not like, oh, they're evil. I feel like if any other author had the same characters, they'd be perceived as more unlikable, more evil, more villain, if you will. Whereas this is not supposed to be like a Sally Rooney pun, but I feel like her characters are just normal people who make normal people mistakes. I just really like how real her books are. That's my 3rd book by her. I need to read, I think, Conversation with Friends. I don't know if there's any others I haven't read. But then I also finished reading The Long Game on my Nook, and I gave it 4 stars because the first 30% of the book felt really slow and repetitive the whole time. Okay. So basically, it just felt like Shane and Ilya, they would get together for a weekend, oh, so in love, blah, blah, blah. Then they'd have to go be separate for 2-3 weeks for hockey and traveling, and that was really hard for them, which is fine, but I just felt like that's what a lot of the beginning of the book was. But once, spoiler, once Ilya started going to therapy, it started to pick up and I got more into it, and then the rest of the way I was very engaged, very interested in the story, but I just couldn't give it 5 stars because that beginning was a little slow for me. There are so many sirens, I'm so sorry. Hopefully everyone's okay. So now on audiobook, I'm listening to The Midnight Library, and I think I'm halfway. I really like the premise, that's such a cool idea, but I'm not in love with the book as much as I thought I would be. Maybe it will pick up. I don't know, I'm quite impartial. I love the idea of the book, but I'm not loving the book. But I'm not disliking it either. But now I need to find another book to actually read, and I don't know what I'm feeling. Maybe I'll use my reading journal and I'll roll the dice when I get home to see what book I should read. I like that idea. We'll do that. Okay, well, I'll see you when I'm back with my reading journal so I can spin a dice, roll a dice, and figure out what book I'm gonna read. Hi, it is Sunday night. I got an oil change today, did some other errands. I am bored of audiobooks. I want to read a physical book, and I don't have any that I've started right now. So I rolled a dice, a die, if you will, on my TBR jar, but it's not a jar, it's paper portion of my reading journal. And the prompt was, read a book with a flower on the cover. So I pulled 4 books out of my physical TBR that have flowers on them. I'm allowing myself to also extend this to books from the library if I'm not liking anything here, which maybe defeats the purpose, but that's my rule. It's my book. This is my video. This is my world. I can do what I want. So first we have 4 Weddings and a Puppy. This is my friend Andrea's book. It was very, very cheap at Books A Million, if you can't tell. She let me borrow it, and I haven't gotten to it. And honestly, I don't know if I want to. I think I'm gonna pass on this, but we'll look at our other options first, I guess. Next, we have this copy of Romeo and Juliet. She's got some roses on her. I got this at Marshall's for... This says $15 on the back, but I think I got it for less, quite honestly. This one's kind of a top contender because I was Romeo. My boyfriend was Romeo and I was Juliet for Halloween last year. And my copy of Shakespeare's complete works turned 100 years old this year, so I do want to read all of his plays this year. So we might stick with this one. Then we have the Gingerbread Bakery. There's little poinsettias down here. It's past Christmas, it's January, I don't feel jolly. No. I do want to get through the series this year, but that'll be at the end. Then we have poetry of Emily Dickinson. It's got this little, I don't know what flower that is, but it's cute. I got this after I finished watching Dickinson on Apple TV with Haley Steinfeld. Haley Steinfeld? I don't know. I was so obsessed with that show. It was so good. I hear a lot of criticisms about the show, like, oh, like it's not time accurate. Yeah, it's not trying to be. That's why I love it. Like, it's not trying to be time accurate and funny and missing. It's accepting the fact that its humor is very modern, so it brings other modern aspects into the show and mixes it with her poetry, makes her poetry funny, makes it fun. You still feel sad sometimes when you need to, but 10 out of 10 show. Like, I really recommend it. I want to watch it again. I watched it in the fall. It's getting all excited for like Halloween because death is talked about a lot. And it was so good. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with Romeo and Juliet for this, just because I already know the story. Even though it's an older book and I'm not gonna understand every single word, it's gonna be a lot less work than trying to decipher poetry. I've read very little poetry, and I don't necessarily understand poetry, but I want to. But I know if I read the poetry of Emily Dickinson, then I'll be doing a lot more research into the words used, the phrasing used, kind of what the poetry's about. I want something where I have to do a little less research to fully understand what I'm reading, so I am gonna go with Romeo and Juliet.